Hello, this is a video I've been intending to make for a long time. So in the past 6 months or so I have not been putting out any videos, even though I've been working on quite a few TI-99 related projects. And in fact the one I'm about to talk about now is basically one where I designed a board like this one, so I call it the TI GROMmy, and it's a replacement for the GROM or the graphics ROM chips that the TI-99 has. The reason why it's interesting to have a replacement for these chips is that first of all it may be impossible to get these chips at some point in time, but more to the point, if you want to change the contents of these chips you actually need a device like this one to be able to write your own version to modify the operating system of the TI. So in this project I ended up designing the same thing for 5 times. So I started off with this version which has that additional diode in there, so it was the first prototype. I then did another revision of this which is almost identical, but it has a place for the diode, so it doesn't need that extra component. Then I designed what I call the GROMmy 2, which has the additional memory capacity, so 128K of flash as opposed to 32 there. Then I did the version which has 512K of flash, which is this one, which I call the Super GROMmy. So it's kind of a big, and as you can see, it's actually extending above the sockets of the original chips, so it's such a big thing. And because of some layout mistakes in here, I did a second version of that, which is this one. So ended up altogether designing 5 versions of the same thing. So that actually was a nice way to really learn KiCad and to see how you can kind of easily do multiple designs with that software. Here is the TI-99 that I usually use for my hardware development projects. And here it's opened, as you can see, and the GROM chips, they are normally there. So try to see it so that the camera is in focus. So we have 3 of them. I have already removed those chips. They are among the very few chips that you actually have on sockets on the 99, which is a nice thing to have. So let me bring here. So this is the first version of the TI GROMmy that I created. And it's a small board which you can directly insert here. So it basically goes in to the sockets, so it's covering 2 sockets, and you plug it in like so, and after that it will emulate the chips and you can use the computer normally. And here I have the second generation version of the TI GROMmy. So same as the first generation model, you just plug it in. Let me just get the alignment right. Yeah, there we go, like that, and it's good to go. Okay, let's then see how this works. So in here we have the TI GROMmy installed. I will power on the TI, and I don't know how well this comes across, but this LED here is lit, and that LED is lit whenever the TI GROMmy is active, so when it's driving the bus of the computer and emulating the chips. So let's just put in the cover here, like so. And you might wonder, what is this thing in here? So that actually is another TI Super GROMmy which I installed. So I kind of coincidentally noticed that I have enough I/O pins on one of the sides of the board so that it can take the role of a keyboard. So I have implemented a piece of software that runs on this board, and there's another piece of software running on my Mac. So when I plug this into the USB, I'm actually able to control the computer through that board. I'm using a video capture board to capture the output that's coming from the TI-99, and we can see the output there. And the GROMmy 2 is inside there, and if I now just press a button, I'm using this keyboard routing thing, you can see that the computer is working, and It's not actually terribly exciting as a demo because it's just doing what it's always doing, with the difference that now we are not using anything else than the GROMmy 2 board inside. So you might ask that why is this beneficial, and once again the reason why that's the case is that it enables you to easily modify the contents of the GROM, so you can write your own contents there. So I hope that you found this project interesting. Let me know in the comments what you think.